Hello, team. My name is Priscilla, and today I would like to come to you and speak to you about leads. To give you a little background on myself, I've had my insurance license coming on 5 years, and it's kind of crazy because actually I just did my continuing education. I updated it, and it made me think, like, wow, geez, it's been 5 years. Like, that's kind of a long time. And, I've been through some things, and I've learned a couple of things, and I would like to share with you today about leads. I've always worked with Family First Life through my insurance career, and Family First Life has always worked on the lead system. And the funny thing is maybe like 3 days ago, I was on an airplane. I was on a flight, actually, and I got a phone call. And I answered, and they said, "Hi, can I speak to Priscilla?" And I said, "Yes, it's her speaking." And she said, "Hey, I got your information through the California Board of Insurance, and I would like to offer you this great program that we're starting here in Bakersfield." I live in Bakersfield, California. And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Do you currently sell insurance?" And I said, "Yes." And she says, "Well, great." She says, "You no longer have to cold market." And I kind of chuckled, and I said, "Okay." She said, "We're a company, and guess what?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "We work off of leads." And I said, "Well, what company are you with?" And she said, "Well, we work off of leads. You no longer have to harass your family, your friends for business." And I asked her once again, I said, "What company are you with?" And she said, "Family First Life." And I said, "Well, surprisingly," I said, "I work with the same company." And so what it made me think is, there are so many companies out there which I'm not aware of because, like I said, I've never worked off of a lead system. But there's so many companies out there that have to, pull and leverage. They have to leverage friends and families and harass them. They're the people that go to the party that nobody even wants to walk by because they have to talk about insurance and they have to talk about sales and they have to talk about selling something that sometimes when no one asks you for it, even though we know that life insurance is everybody needs it, but when someone doesn't ask you for it, it's really, it's a hard sale. And that's what it becomes. It becomes a sale. So I was really, really happy to think that, I never really had experienced that because I always worked off of a lead system. And some people may, they may say different. They may say, but leads cost money and, it's expensive and, you have to, it's something that you have to, it's a weekly obligation, But the way I like to think about it is when you own a restaurant or you own any type of business, you're going to have a weekly obligation. There's going to be overhead. You're going to have, if it's a, Starbucks, you're going to have to pay for milk. You're going to have to pay for cups. You're going to have to pay for straws, things like that. And in this business, we sell life insurance. So what we have to pay for, the insurance companies, they give us everything for free. The only thing that we need to pay for is we need to invest in our business, and that's leads. Okay? So from my experience here, I always ran the same type of lead. I always ran so let me back up a little bit. So the three type of leads that I'm really familiar with is direct mail leads, Facebook leads, and call-in leads. Okay? I know that we have other leads than that, but those are leads that I'm familiar with, okay? So direct mail leads, when I started the business, like I said, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, those are the leads that were, pretty hot. And the way those leads work is, let's say that it's a mortgage lead, okay? So someone moves into a new home. The lead company sends them a lead. And on the lead, it says, like, hey, do you want the opportunity to make sure that your family's protected if something happens to you, that the mortgage is paid off? That person, what they do is they fill out the lead that they want information, okay? They put a stamp on it. If it's not self-posted, they put a stamp on it, and they walk it to their mailbox. The lead vendor then sells it to yourself, myself, if we're the person that's purchasing those leads in that area, okay? We get the lead, we call them, and we book an appointment, okay? Some may say this is the best lead. Back 4 years ago, I would have probably said the same thing. And the truth is, probably up to 6 months ago, I would have said it was the best thing, okay? But as times change, we're so fortunate that Family First Life also evolves. And they are evolving with time, as in their social media presence and the way that people are responding to things. So that brings us to our second type of lead, okay? And that lead is a Facebook lead. The way that a Facebook lead, let me go back. So the first lead, those leads can run us between $50 and $65 per lead. So per mailer, one lead could run that much money, that amount, okay? The second type of lead would be a Facebook lead. So the way that works is people on Facebook and they're doing searches, right? Let's say my grandma's on Facebook and she wants to make sure that all her final wishes are taken care of. So she searches on Facebook burial plans, life insurance, things like that. The engine on Facebook then responds with an ad. Say if you're interested in life insurance, click here. She clicks there, and then Facebook sells you or me that lead. Now, that lead can run as less as, $15, okay? The same thing. We still have to call that lead and book them, okay? So with that being said, then we have a third type of lead, okay, that I personally run myself. I run all of them, actually. The third type of lead is a call-in lead. So this lead is the same lead as the first one. The difference between the call-in lead and the first one is that the call-in lead is they purchased a home, the person purchases a home, and they receive a postcard. Now, the postcard says, if you're interested, call in this number. Now, the call-in lead can be broken down in two different increments, right? When they call that number, the number asks them a sequence of questions, pretty much on, what's your name, your age, your date of birth, where do you live, just different questions. If the person hangs up before they finish the questions, we get the lead for about $5, okay? If they finish the questions, the lead's about a little bit more, but it's still only like $30. It's not $30 or $60, okay? So then we get the lead for that amount, okay? So those are the different types of leads. Now, my position on all three of these leads or any other leads that we're going to run, I know that people say like a lead is a lead is a lead, but the truth is I don't believe a lead is a lead. There are new leads and old leads. Now, these leads are all new leads. They're just presented differently, okay? They're presented to the client differently. One thing they all have in common is the clients requested for the information, whether the request was from a direct mail, from a Facebook, or from a call-in lead. They were all presented the same way, and the client requested information. They requested different ways, but the client requested information the same way, okay? So for me, running all these different types of leads, the way that I like to do and the way that I've had experience with them and good outcomes is I treat them all the same. Now, when I get leads in my inbox and they're call-in leads, I don't like to look at whether the client finished answering all the questions or they didn't. Because when I look at it like, hey, did the client proceed and is it a $5 lead or is it a $30 lead? Did they answer the questions or did they not? What it does is it kind of confuses me in the head, and then I would start calling like the client didn't really want the information, so then I wouldn't book the appointment. So what I started doing is I started treating them all the same, okay? And the way that I did that is the way that I positioned myself, the pattern, the sequence of my words, the tone, the tonality of my voice, right? So if we're speaking about the call-in lead, what I did is I made myself think in my head that it was just a process of a purchase. And what I mean by that is these people, they just purchased a new home, correct? So when you purchase a new home, the first thing you need to do is, of course, you need to get your homeowner's warranty. You want to make sure your PG&E is connected, your water's connected. You call all these companies, and you have so many things going on as a new homeowner that you're just, you're a process of elimination. You're checking things off to make sure that you got those things done. So when I came in and I called these clients, I positioned myself that I was just one more step of process of elimination, and that step is mortgage insurance, okay? In the conversation with them, I never mentioned, hey, you called in and you hung up on the recorder. You didn't want the information, but I still needed to send it to you. Never mentioned that. The way that I called them in is simply like this. Hi, how are you? My name is Priscilla. Congratulations on your new home. I am with the insurance company, and what my job is, I need to get you the information that you requested to make sure that in the event of a death that the mortgage is paid off. Do you work in the mornings or the afternoons? I work in the afternoon. Okay, perfect. I will be by there tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Once again, I'm going to have all the paperwork with me. Just make sure that you and your spouse are home, and I will get this information to you tomorrow at 6:15, whatever the time is that we agreed. Okay? If it's Facebook, I mentioned the fact that they were online. Hi, my name is Priscilla. I'm getting back to you. You were looking for insurance yesterday online on Facebook. You mentioned your favorite color is turquoise. My job is very simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you the paperwork. It's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. Do you have any doctor's appointments in the morning? No, I do not. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to be by there tomorrow morning at 10:15. Is there any reason that you will not be home? No, I will be home. Okay, great. I'm going to have all the paperwork with me. Thank you, Miss Rosales. I will see you tomorrow morning at 10:15. And once again, my name is Priscilla, like Elvis Presley's wife. Okay? So with leads, what I like to do is just act like it is a next process in their scenario. Okay? Like I said, there's all different types of leads we can get. These are the leads that I generally run. I have never worked in a company where they didn't have leads. I can never imagine doing that. I couldn't imagine, looking in the white pages or asking my friends and family for the business, which I'm still going to do, but I'm not going to base my career on that. My first year in insurance, I only worked leads that, like I said, I think I issue paid like $169, and then I progressed every year since. Let me just give you an example on how strongly I feel about leads. The last couple of months, I have not been in the field. I've been dealing with some family things, but one thing I did not do is I did not stop my leads. I would never stop my leads because I truly, truly believe, and not just on my experience, even the person that called me, she was so excited, thinking that we have this new opportunity, and this new opportunity is people are working off of leads now. It's the new thing. It's the thing that people are doing. When you want to issue pay over 100,000, 200, 3, 4, or 5, you need leads. It is, the engine to your car. So I hope this helped. I hope that you guys can take something from this, and just know that I personally am a big believer in leads. There are different types of leads, and the cool thing about it is Family First Life has their own lead vendor, but they're not pushing that on you. You can get your leads from anywhere, and like I experienced that there were people that worked at Family First Life that found different lead vendors, and they're like, hey, let's jump on the wagon. That made me feel like, hey, this is not a lead company. Like, no one's trying to make money off purchasing leads from them. We need leads to fuel our business. Okay? Well, I hope that helped. I hope this will help some people grow their business. And everybody, you guys have a great day. Thank you.